Hi, my name is Katrina and I play Rose Macleod. Rose is a dancer and is owner of the Night Elements Club in Glasgow, and she is a Toreador.
Toreadors are the artists. They are the very Lestat kind of vampires. They love the finer things and get very passionate about their line of particular art form. For Rose, that's dancing. She was born around 1920 and was embraced in the 1950s. She is, as most Toreadors are, she's very charismatic. As a dancer, she is quite petite. She's quite small, but she's not without a certain amount of muscle and can put her foot behind her head without too much hassle. Her touchstones and convictions are that she is incredibly protective of what she sees as hers. The club, the coterie, her dancers, she is very protective of all of them. She has a business partner called Micah who runs things in the daytime when she, is asleep. And one of her best friends is Arlene, but goes by Arla, who is one of the dancers. They've known each other for quite a long time. One of her major touchstones is Duncan, who is her head of security, ex-military, but he runs the security of the club like a well-oiled machine and is her right-hand man for pretty much everything. Toreador Clan Bane is that they don't do well in places that are not very pretty. And that sounds a bit silly, but when they're surrounded by awful horribleness, they can't deal with it, and so they start to shut down a little bit. In terms of disciplines, funnily enough, Rose goes for the presence. She is very much, look at me. I am the most important person in the room right now. This is what you're looking at. Behold my awesomeness. She's also got celerity, so she's quite fast, and she can sense the unseen. She's was turned in 1950s by her sire that she doesn't really get on with very well. Before she was a kindred, she was, you can't really make much money as a dancer, so she was an escort and various other things on this, to make ends meet. And her sire decided that he quite liked her and wanted her, so just kind of took her. Her feeding type is siren, so she tends to have sex with the people or has intimacy with the people that she feeds on. Marcus Ramsey is Rose's sire, and she does not like him. She gets on with him because she has to in order to maintain a semi-decent relationship with the Camarilla of Glasgow and of Scotland. But considering he sort of had her as a pretty thing in the background for a while and then sort of said, nah, I'm bored with you now, go forth and do your own thing, she would quite like to be completely rid of him at some point. The Nosferatu, are the best information gatherers in the city, and for a Toreador who runs a club that is trying to remain in the middle between two factions, information is quite important. So we spoke to Ninian, who is the primogen of the Nosferatu, the head of the Nosferatu, underneath the necropolis in Glasgow, and his second in command, Sarah, gave Rose a tarot reading, which was incredibly interesting. So she drew a card for her past, her present, and her future. Her past was the devil, which she has several of, Marcus being a not insignificant one of those. The present card was the 5 of Swords, some swords discarded on the ground and two people walking away. Not entirely sure what that one means as yet. And the future was the Empress, which not only is, you know, a symbol of power in terms of political power and things like that, but also of motherhood, potentially. Rose hasn't sired anyone as of yet, so maybe that's something. And there's also a fate card, which Rose was told to not look at until she felt that it was a suitable time to have a look at it. So she's not looked at that one yet.